good servicing practices. While servicing air conditioners, it is important to follow good servicing practices. This will not only reduce refrigerant emissions, but also ensure good performance and maintain energy efficiency of the equipment. Let's look at the tools and equipment required. Vacuum pump, thermocouple vacuum gauge, refrigerant leak detector, hand tools, weighing scale, tube cutter, tube flaring tool, reamer for deburring, gauge manifold, charging lines. Let's look at the step-by-step procedures for servicing a split-type air conditioning system. These include recovery of refrigerant or system pump down, repair or replacement of inoperative parts, cleaning and flushing of system, brazing or connecting of tubes, leak testing, evacuation, charging of refrigerant, performance testing, closing of valves or sealing of tubes. Start the system and run it for 5 minutes to warm up the compressor. This will release the refrigerant mixed with the compressor oil. Connect the low side hose of the gauge manifold to the charge port of three-way service valve, suction valve fitted to the ODU. Purge the air in the manifold hose using the refrigerant. Close the liquid side or the discharge valve. Open the suction service valve. Start the compressor and observe the pressure on the gauge manifold. Run the system till the suction pressure comes down to 2 psig. Don't let the pressure go into the vacuum. When the suction pressure reaches to 2 psig, close the service valve on the suction side and put off the compressor. Next, open the refrigeration system and do necessary repairs or replacement of parts. Loosen the flare nuts on the vapor and liquid line and disconnect the lines. Clean and polish the tube ends using emery cloth or wire brush. Flush the system with oxygen-free dry nitrogen at a pressure of about 150 psig. Reconnect the lines properly. Use torque wrench and tighten the nuts. Do not over-tighten the flare nuts. Pressurize the system using oxygen-free dry nitrogen at a pressure of about 150 psig. Apply soap solution to joints, connections and fittings and check for a leak. Refrigerant leaks can occur anywhere throughout the system. Look for wet, oily spots along refrigerant lines and components. Wait for about 15 minutes and check for any drop in pressure. If there is no drop in pressure, then the system is ready for evacuation. If not, locate and rectify the leak. Open the service valve and release the nitrogen pressure from the system. Connect the system to an evacuation and charging unit using a 4-way gauge manifold and a digital micron gauge. Ensure that the blank off pressure is below 100 microns. Open the valve and start evacuating the system. Evacuate the system to 500 microns or below. Once the desired vacuum is achieved, disconnect the pump and check vacuum holding. It shouldn't rise above 1500 microns after 5 minutes. Now the system is ready for charging with refrigerant. Isolate the vacuum pump by closing the valve. Connect the refrigerant cylinder to the manifold. Place it on a weighing scale and note down the initial weight. Open the valve on the manifold and charge the system with specified quantity of refrigerant using a digital weighing scale. Run the system for 20 minutes and then check the pressure. Measure the current drawn by the air conditioner. Secure the lock nut. Do a final leak test. Brazing is an important part of RAC trade for producing strong joints that withstand vibrations, extreme temperature, tension and more. It is recommended to use oxyacetylene or oxy-LPG torches for brazing. The temperatures achievable by different types of flames are as follows. Oxygen acetylene 3000 degrees Celsius, oxygen LPG 2200 degrees Celsius, air LPG 1900 degrees Celsius, air butane 1900 degrees Celsius. There are three types of flames: neutral, reducing and oxidizing. Always use neutral flame or reducing flame for brazing. Degrease parts and clean the joints thoroughly. Ensure that length of smaller tube in the larger tube is at least 1.5 times the diameter of the female tube. Underheating is the principal cause of inferior joints, while excessive clearances between joints can cause voids inside. Introduce nitrogen at very low flow rate to prevent oxidation inside the tube assembly. Heat the joint uniformly by moving the flame across and around the joint. The rod should melt by coming in contact with the heated base metal. Melted rod material flows into clearance between walls of the two tubes through capillary action. Personal protection equipment. Always wear PPEs while at work. Hand gloves, goggles, mask or face shield, lab coat, safety shoes, safety helmet and whole body harness. Let's adopt these good servicing practices to help and save the environment. Always remember, brazing and safety while working is of the utmost importance.